And yes, I have so many projects in here. And yes, people, they are active. There's a new piston coming with a rebuild kit, all the gaskets and whatnot. I looked at getting the actual kit, so 2 new pistons, rings, all the parts, and it was like $600 or $700. Whereas somebody else who had done one of these had a spare piston. So the spare piston was like $60. And then the gasket kit was like, what was it, 70? So I can rebuild the engine for less than $200. Because let's face it, that's a fugly garden tractor, and I'm not putting a whole pile of money into it to have it just the gearbox or whatever sit down. So it'll work. So waiting for those parts. This, I love Fords. I honestly do. I love my Fords. But I also have the same pet peeve as everybody else does with Fords. Because they break down the same as Dodges and the same as Chevys. But the problem with a Ford is that every connector on a Ford harness is different. Like, really? So you're asking, what's up with the truck, Doug? It's back there. Now you're visiting in there further than I can see. Down there, that shiny thing. And there's another sensor right beside it. So you have the IPR valve. The wiring harness back there was in bad shape, and I got the new pieces for it, and they had sent the wrong one, and they told me they couldn't get the right one. So I fixed the old harness and put it back in. And then when they sent the new IPR, when I put it in, the see if I can find something that looks like it. I see the plastic part there sticking up. Well, back there, it sticks out to the side. So this is the socket that goes on it. So the socket goes down over it, and that relief is for the plug-in part. Well, when I tightened it up, the plug-in part's pointing down at the cylinder head, or the back of the block anyway. So I had a hell of a hard time putting the harness back on. Well, it lasted about a year, and then the harness broke again, and that's why the truck died. So I can't get the harness off because it's pointing down, and I can't unclip it and get it out of the way far enough to take the valve out to figure out how to tighten it in to be pointing the right way. Maybe it's the wrong one, I don't know. I'll check it out once it's out. But to get that off and out of there, you either need to be able to shrink yourself down to an elf or take the engine apart. And as you all know, I'm a bit of a shaved Yeti. So top of the engine coming off, we're doing. Now, it's not a complete lost issue. When I replaced the high pressure oil pump, which is down in the valley there, if you go back a couple of winters ago, there's a video of me doing it. When I went back together, something went wrong. I don't know whether the gasket or one of the manifolds didn't line up, but it's been leaking exhaust. You can see there's a lot of soot back there. So I'm going to take it all back off and check everything over, make sure like an O-ring, or because I'm thinking it's an EGR. I'm thinking something didn't sit in right, and they have those little metal gaskets or asbestos. I can't remember which ones are in which. There's different ones, different parts. So you got the big horseshoe, and then you got the EGR, which is on bottom of both sides, because that's the intake. The EGR is under it. Yeah, that's fun. So that's all going to come off anyway, and that will let me back at that. Either that, or I take the cab off, or, as I joked, cut a hole in the firewall inside the cab and make a patch. That'd be quicker. But you're still underneath the turbo Y-pipe. So yay, Ford. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. This one is currently on the go because I'm at this every night. This one is currently on the go because I'm waiting for parts. That one is not on the go right now because I do not have time, and that's not a rush job. But I have all the parts for that. In amongst that pile there is parts of the new stuff, and then there's boxes over there to put that back together because that's a 350 Honda 4x4. Anyway, best get on. And here we see the site of destruction. Now you ask, why? Why go to all this bother? Well, first and foremost, look at the soot. It kind of tells you that that part of the Y branch did not seat properly when it went back together last time. Somehow, with the clamp fully engaged, it still wasn't bedded. Weird. Anyway, so why are we in here, Piper Doug? Well, we're in here because of this gadget. Now, this is a brand new gadget. Just a few thousand kilometers ago, when I did the high pressure oil pump, I replaced this. Because they say if you're in here, you will want to change these. There's two of them. There's this one, and there's this guy. So this one, I'm going to get it checked out because there shouldn't be oil in there. That's the injection pressure regulator. This is the injector. I can't remember all the terms for them. Anyway, it's all to do with the injectors. That's why it quit running. I don't think that was why it quit running. And then this is why it quit running. So, see, that was kind of the telltale. There's oil in there. But that's not the part that I'm having the issues with. Yeah, that's good. And the last time when I was in here, I ordered a brand new sensor. And I ordered a brand new lead because this one had cracking on the wires. So, truck was down, I'm waiting for the parts to come in. Parts finally came in. Brand new regulator. And then there was a 2 female plug-in, but it had 2 prongs for a snap lock. Yeah, I can't even find one around here that's the same. Where are you? Where is one of them? I know there was one here somewhere not long ago. No, that's not one. You know what? I think everybody will know what I mean. Honestly, you think with 20 different types of wire hookups in this engine bay, I could find the one that looks like it. I think most of you know what I mean, where there's a tab on either side. Whereas this is a spring snap. So, I'm just going out on a limb and saying this is why the truck quit working. Because the epoxy that I put on there, apparently turbo heat does not agree with it, and it cracked through the lines and jiggered again. So, thinking ordering a new one, and then I happened to be walking around the back of the truck, and there's parts laying there for my old 7.3 that's sitting out there hooked to the work truck, cattle trailer, ready to go to work. And I thought, this looks vaguely familiar. Huh. Yeah, just stuff lying everywhere. Ta-da! 7.3 aficionados will know that this is the rocker cover gasket loom harness. And here's part of the loom. And what is attached to part of the loom? Yes. Now how often does stuff like this work out for a person? So, see if I can do this one-handed. And it goes. Snapped on. So there you go. The 7.3 injector harness is the exact same wires and plug as the, is this the IPR? Anyway, for the back of the 6.0. So there you go, handy tip. If you have any old 7.3 harnesses kicking around, it's the same plug-in as the 6.0 for the injector pressure regulator sensor kit and cadoodle. Anyway, so yeah, I got to reattach this and then get some new exhaust wrap, because this one's, I doubt I can save this. Wonder if they have any at Princess Auto. Yeah, so there you go. Handy tip for the day. When you're this far into a 6.0 to fix a broken wire. Yeah. There's another job off the list. Those 11 cull cow calves. That's them weaned and over, processed. Big dog did his duty, hauling them over. Mrs. Piper Doug, champion yet again, running the gate, doing all the stuff, keeping Farmer Jekyll and Dr. Hyde under control, so he didn't get a little out of control. Yeah, you know, little rammy, a little angry, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's all the calves penned up, ready for our buyer to come and check them out over the next couple of weeks. And then those guys will be leaving in the next couple of weeks as well. So yeah. Oh, nice to get that off the list. Love my 7.3. Oh, and by the way, another little pet peeve about these Tough Industries crushes. Yes, my little extension to the gate works just perfect. It's as good as it's gonna get, apart from adding a skin around the whole wall, but that it seems to work. So we had two fall calves that were just weaned out of this lot, and they were processed with the rest of them. One of them stays on the farm, the other one we might keep for the freezer, because they're just little tots. They're only about, oh jings, I don't even know if they're 300 pounds, to tell you the truth. 250 maybe. One thing we did realize, and the crush is sitting on a bit of an angle, as you can see. Check that out. Like, honest to gosh. And the worst thing is, it gets worse. Yeah, I'm kidding you not. Like, watch this. So, as you start tightening said tub comes round, this starts coming round. So yeah, I had this round to probably, I think about here. And yeah, they were thinking long and hard about that. The little ones especially. Just thankfully, we were in here the whole time, because look at that. Like, if you might not be able to tell from, but there's my size 13 snow boot. Passes in and out there easy. So all you cattle folk will know how, like an arrowhead, calves' heads are like. So yeah. So there's another thing. The chain. Now that should be a little bit easier of a fix. It still involves welding though. So I think the never actually even taken a close look at this. Okay, so I can actually unbolt that, take this to the shop and cut. Let's see, what can we do here? So that's one link out. That's 2 links out. Oh my gosh. 2 links out and there's still a gap. Did they talk to any cattle people when they built this? I don't know. Anyway, so look to that in a future project. Boneheads. So, reason number 42 why we need a cold storage shed right there, which is where it's going eventually. Once the cows are taken care of first, then we'll take care of cold storage. So what are we looking at here, Piper Doug? I cleaned this thing out. I kid you not, this thing was spick and span. I cleaned this out because I've had to do this before. Well, what happens, Piper Doug? Well, thank you for asking. It's been a long afternoon so far. Yeah. But what ends up happening is you get snow piles up in here, and for whatever ungodly known reason, even when it's like minus a bazillion, the snow will still melt, run down and sit in there, even although the bushings are all worn out, and I'm not replacing them because it's supposed to drain. There is holes in the bottom of each of these, ½ inch, but they keep getting plugged up with just crap. Like I said, I clean all the silage out. I do. But that's not silage. That's dirty water. Dirty water. Anyway, so yeah, these things freeze in solid here, and it's really hard to get at them. So basically, you gotta take old Thor there. Yes, I have to put metal handles on all my hammers because I break them. Yes, I have an anvil that's broken. I broke an anvil. Yes, that happened. Anyway. So yeah, you gotta go along the bottom, bang a bang a bang, bang a bang a bang bang bang, bangity bang, and then you start pounding on this to shatter up all the ice. Then you gotta scoop all the snow out of there, and then use whatever tools known to man or beast to get the stuff out from the flutes. The flutes, that's right. So it's working now. Now there's still a coating of snow and shit at the bottom. Pardon my French, sorry about that. Please Google, don't blacklist my YouTube channel. It's just starting to take off, for crying out loud. And thanks for all the new subscribers. Oh my gosh, holy wow. I can't believe how many subscribers my channel has grown in just in the last week. It's craziness. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that just means I gotta come up with new merchandise. And a new giveaway too. Squirrel! Anyway, back to this. So yeah, I'm going to open up the silage pit. So at the front of the silage pit, as a lot of guys who do silage knows, the bottom of the slope is really bad quality silage. It hasn't fermented properly, just crud. And plus that's where you clean up the face of the pit once the silage operators are gone. So you kind of push everything up to the front. Anyway, so I'm going to fill the silage wagon up with that stuff, take it out to the field and just dump it. I'll put it in piles, the cows can do whatever they want with it. I'm not putting it into the tire feeders because then I'll just have to clean most of it out. Anyway, so the first load will be sacrificial because that'll clean out all of this, because once the heat starts going out here, it cleans all that out. But second load, the grab's going on to little Jimmy. That's the John Deere, where it's calling little Jimmy. There's a reason for that. We used to have a big 4-wheel drive John Deere called Big George, who had triples all around. He was an 89, 70 and 1995. Very sad day when I had to let him go in the auction, but we could not keep him. Even though he didn't make a lot of money in the sale, that's somebody else's fault. Rhymes with Brazers. Anyway, I've been told by my therapist to let that go. Therapist meaning Mrs. Piper Doug. She's gonna be back here anytime soon. She can talk me down from the edge. Anyway, I'll put a picture of Big George in here. That's Big George. Love that tractor. N14 Cummins, factory N14 Cummins, which Wes Pandy, the one lonely farmer, me and him had an argument over that because he said there was no factory installed Cummins engine in the early John Deeres. Yes, there was. They had the Kinsey repower at the start, then John Deere partnered with Cummins for that tractor, and there was a run. Back to the story at hand. So, now that we have another John Deere on the farm, besides the best baler in the entire world, we've got to come up with a name of him, so he's wee Jimmy, because he's just a little guy, but is he ever powerful? Very good tractor, very happy with that purchase. So, yeah, we're going to drop the blades. I think I'm going to film a little bit of using that big blade because there's a couple of people who have asked to see it in action to know if it's a worthwhile buy. By the way, I don't know what we ever did without one. My gosh, I wish we had one when we used to have the grain farm for cleaning out that whole big yard over there. But, yes, so I'll do a little video of that before I take it off, put it into this, and then we're putting the grab on, and then we'll start doing up blends. So, time for the Cadillac 360. It's a 3-auger mixer wagon. Can't even open the door. So yeah, one big auger on the bottom with 1/2-inch flight. You do not want to fall in there. And then two big, well, half-size augers, but still very powerful. Anyway, so that's where we're at. Let's get on. I can only imagine what the settlers thought when they first showed up here and heard that. Yeah, because there's a den in there, and there's another one down the hill there. Dear gosh, it's only taken how many weeks? Finally, it pushed the frost out of the pipe. Oh my gosh, I've had salt, I've had the hot air blowing, the new heat tape's down there, it's attached to a piece of high tensile wire to spread the heat. Finally, it works. So, but I will still fill the water troughs up today. I have the water, but that way that they're not up here fighting. So I'm going to give them their water, give them their bales and stuff, and then I'm going to put this all back to the way it should be. Oh my gosh. So yeah, like I said, you can have all the preventative maintenance because I go over these troughs every fall, at the end of fall. Check them over, make sure everything's where it needs to be, but stuff's still going to go wrong. One thing I still have to do, and that's the downside to these Ritchie designs, is you have this thing here where, yeah, the water's supposed to run out either end, but when the cows are drinking and slabbering everywhere, it fills that up and creates an ice bank. So I've got to take that out to get this to seal properly. Because as far as I can tell, I've got this set back to where it was supposed to be. This is where you try and keep it as full as possible, but not too close to the edge. Because if it goes over the edge, you can get back feeding, where the water will feed back into the box. And I think that's what went wrong. That plug-in had fallen down and was laying in the box, and then moisture got in there and shorted it out. And if I can think of it, I'll post a picture in here. So that's what happens to those cords when they short out. They basically rupture. There's still one job left to do to this. This element here is working. The one over there, I might have... I wonder if I still have the picture. If I think of it, I'll put it in. But that element is to replace because the other one popped. When they pop, they basically explode. So there you go. Oh, hallelujah. Oh, happy days. Oh, happy days. Yeah, the Punisher's looking at. Yeah, no. Okay, I'll go back to work. So, great news. Great news. The water trough is working. So, now I can stop hauling water and stop doing the water trough fill like for half an hour, 3 times a day, and at night and all the rest of it. That'll let me get back to this. So, hopefully in the next episode, as long as nothing explodes or goes awry, we'll be back to this. All of that stuff here. Because I'd like to get at least the big sticks, all the cross braces, and then the temporary triangulations on, and then that way that'll let me start getting the rafters and just getting the frame up, getting it squared away. So that, and these old cow ladies, the old culls, they're going on the short bus here right away. I don't know if it's this week, but it's going to be right away because they got to leave. Yeah, you do. Yeah. So, yeah, tune in next week for all the excitement at the Shire. And it's goodbye for me. And it's goodbye from them. Tidy bye.